the souls that are drawn to this work and this awareness are the ones that are stepping in to clear the planet's energy. So I just wanted to say, you know, for whoever is drawn to this kind of work, just thank you for showing up for yourself and showing up for the planet. It's you're making a huge impact. Like whether you're consciously aware of it or not, you're doing the work.
I'm going to call in the blessings of your higher self, my higher self, our highest guides, beautiful Mother Earth, star Sirius, the great central sun, our own sun, blessings from the Supreme Being, love, all that is.
I call upon the highest archangels, angels. I call upon the sacred geometries of the tree of life and all the platonic solids of the cube, octahedron, star tetrahedron, icosahedron, and the dodecahedron. The elements of earth, air, fire, water, and ether. I call upon the highest creator. May wisdom and guidance come through us and ground into the earth. Calling upon our light-hearted, childlike selves so that we may have fun in this process. Thank you for all wisdom and knowledge shared with us. And help us be efficient. Thank you.
So be it. Thank you. All right. So welcome to the Lionsgate 2024. This is Nicole Finch and Deanna King, and we are going to have just a little high vibe conversation, not quite sure exactly where it's going to go, try to help people understand the significance of Lionsgate and from a metaphysical perspective. Nicole is a specialist in sacred geometry and the Kabbalah and Tree of Life, and I'm an astrologer as well as a metaphysician who works with energy. So we're going to just have a lot of fun today talking about our skills and our understanding, and hoping to assist you in understanding the importance of not only all Lionsgates, but the significance of the Lionsgate this year. And so thank you, Nicole, for being here.
My pleasure. I'm excited to be here with you.
So I'm just going to start out by talking about the Lionsgate in that a lot of people are like, what's the significance of the Lionsgate? And I don't know how many of you understand Leo. Leo is the sign that actually rules royalty, and the sun is the one symbol that Leo rules. So since our own sun, you know, we wouldn't exist without a sun. That's what makes this earth work like she does. And the sun, of course, is very important. It also rules the heart. Leo rules the heart. And as we are in this time frame of ascension, we are trying to go from ego and mind-oriented traveling through life. We're moving into the heart space where we're trying to listen to the heart's wisdom and let's lead our life from the heart. So that to me is the significance of Leo, is like, how can we open that heart chakra so much more? How can we live more fully from the heart? And of course, the sun is in Leo right now during the Lionsgate. So 8/8, it actually, so 8 is August, obviously, it's the 8th day, but the Lionsgate portal starts on the 26th of July every year, and it goes all the way until the 12th of August every year. So there's this time span that the portal, so to speak, is open. It's when there's more energy flooding the planet. It just happens to peak on the 8th, which is why so many people talk about 8/8. And this year we're having a number 8 year, and that just basically means that 2024, if you take 2 + 2 + 4 = 8. So we're having an 8/8 year, 8/8 year. And the number 8 in numerology, you can Google it, is very significant. It does mean kind of that place where we have exuberant confidence, we're magnetic, we have charisma, all those beautiful qualities that sometimes are either transferred to royalty and or powerful people. So this was going to be a great year for many people to excel in business, to finally accomplish the goals that they were trying to do, and to show up as the leader that they've always wanted to be in their lives. And for me, I understand the Lionsgate from that perspective of the Egyptians. Of course, we can call in the Sphinx. You know, they originally were lions. They were changed later to have different heads, but you can tell that from the Sphinx that they are lion figures in Egypt, and that's due to the fact that when the pyramids were being built, Leo was on the horizon, and there was a significance with Orion's belt and with the star Sirius. And so I've read that the Sirius star, or the dog star, is like a sister planet to Mother Earth. The Syrians have assisted with the ascension of Earth and the inhabitants of Earth. They've been sort of guardians, so to speak, through time. And so there's this connection, and also that Orion's belt and Sirius in the Orion's belt star system is lining up with that Giza pyramid at the Lionsgate timeframe. So there's just all this amazing weird synchronicity, right, that happens during this time. I recently also read that it's a time when the Earth's Merkaba, or star tetrahedron, begins to spin at a different level and creates more magnetic pull in the planet Earth. So that means she's actually kind of sucking in or drawing in more celestial energy during this portal time. So we as inhabitants, we get to like totally benefit from all this flooding energy that she's pulling in. And we can actually, with our intention, call in what we specifically want. And generally for me, it's not about like, I want the car, I want the house, I want whatever. It's really about what kind of up-leveling do I want as a soul? What kind of shift and change do I want to embody my highest potential, right? Those are the hopefully the manifestations that you're seeking, because that's going to benefit everyone on the planet, including Mother Earth. So I loved that Mother Earth's Merkaba was like doing something different, you know, and moving around. And a lot of us, I don't know about you, but man, I've been so tired. It's been this weird time frame where I just haven't had the kind of energy. There's also a lot of solar flares happening. We happen to be this year in 2024 also experiencing the solar maximum. That's an 11-year cycle. And it just turns out that 2024 is that solar maximum year. So that means we're having more solar flares than in the other years. We experienced a lot of them in May. There'll be more, but because we have that, again, that symbolism with the sun, and there's more activity with the sun this year, I just find that very interesting. So this year is very powerful and potent on so many levels. If people can just really understand that this is not a time you just want to let piddle away. You want to really take advantage of this momentum and help propel yourself forward. Try to do a lot of gratitude lists, whatever it is that you do to keep yourself in that higher heart vibe, right? So that we're bringing lots of good juju onto the planet. A lot of people, the week before we went into Lionsgate, have oftentimes a little bit of a tough time because stuff's getting kind of stimulated to be released so that we can be a vessel to receive more. So again, if you feel like, oh, Lionsgate wasn't great for me, I just want you to let you know that maybe sometimes stuff has to be shed, and that layer needs to be let go. Stuff needs to be taken out of your lives to make room for this huge opportunity and gift to receive more, to make you a better, bigger person, soul on this planet. Is there anything you want to say, Nicole?
Yeah, that process can be highly uncomfortable when you're, getting rid of the stuff that the portal is coming in to clear out. And I feel like a lot of people aren't aware of it. So the fact that you're here now is monumentally huge. So yeah, thank you, Deanna, for sharing that little history about the Lionsgate portal. And I wasn't aware of the relationship with in Egypt with it.
Mercury and Venus. They're in Virgo, which is kind of this earth sign of let's get some stuff done. Virgo likes to improve things. And of course, that's kind of the feeling also with Lionsgate is you have this opportunity to really improve and up level. And also, Nicole's going to talk later about the tree of life and the Sephiroth and some important, beautiful things about Venus. But also, if you have any points in your chart at that 4 degrees of Virgo, and also the sun is at 16 degrees of Leo. So pay attention to some of those points for you. If there's any trines or squares to other parts in your chart that have similar degrees. The moon also starts the day at 28 degrees of Virgo. And she's in a trine to Uranus and Taurus and a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. And then she begins to move into Libra early in the morning, and she ends the day at 4 degrees of Libra. So it's a loose trine to both Uranus and Pluto, but it is a trine. It's considered a grand trine. And I just feel like Pluto is really accentuating the transformation for us all. We have this opportunity. And this year, Pluto's in Aquarius. Last year, Pluto was still in Capricorn when we had Lionsgate. So this year, we are actually bringing in that 5th dimensional Aquarian energy. We're in the Aquarian age. We're moving into this place where we're focused on community and how everybody succeeds in community. We're getting out of that divisive stuff. We're just really moving into let's take care of everybody, using your gifts to help the planet, help humanity. So it's pretty exciting to me from a galactic sense of where we're going as souls with humanity collectively. Moon trine with Pluto and Uranus rules Aquarius, so there's another significance. And Uranus being in Taurus is an earth energy, again grounding it into the earth, speaking maybe to the Merkaba of the earth, and the fact that it's again that 5th dimensional Aquarian style energy, those out of the blue, not expected situations that come about. And many of us are having to learn to be so flexible now, because if you're not flexible and you can't go with the flow and you get bent out of shape, you're just going to have a tough time. So yeah, so we're totally learning it. I think that's about all I need to talk about with the astrology. And maybe you want to go ahead and speak about the tree of life and what that might mean.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we were talking earlier, Deanna, we were talking about that Sirius sun and how it was 2 times as big as our sun.
Yeah, Sirius is 2.5 times bigger than our sun. So it's a huge star.
And it's behind our sun. Is that correct?
Well, it's way out there. It's in Orion's belt.
So on the tree of life, the tree of life encompasses all human bodies. So inside of us, we have a living tree of life that is formed from the seed of life to the flower of life, and it connects through all of the sacred geometries. So specifically the tree of life that's in our body. The sun is, the correspondence is Tiferet, which is in the center of the chest. Lionsgate, when we were looking at it earlier, it's coming down through the center pillar and connecting to every Sephiroth in the tree of life in your body. Yeah, so when we're in the portal of the Lionsgate, where we have the ability to receive information when we get clear with our intention and our manifestations, what we're creating, and we have an opportunity to have that connection in Tiferet with the sun to all of the other Sephiroth in the tree of life, because Tiferet is the one Sephiroth that communicates with all of the Sephiroth. It's the only.
And again, the tree of life is one sacred geometry shape that is inside all the sacred geometries, or just some of the sacred geometries?
Yeah,
all of them.
So yeah, so this is actually the dodecahedron. but the Tiferet would be right here in the center.
Oh, in the center.
Yeah.
Tiferet again is the sun.
Yep, it's the sun.
Okay.
And it's in the center of the chest in the human body.
Yeah, and the tree of life has 3 pillars. The center pillar again comes from Keter, which is Pluto at the top and goes all the way down to Earth at the bottom, Malkut. So that's the center pillar, and it travels through the heart where the sun is, and that is called Tiferet. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keter is the universe, so everything, all of everything. And then it comes down through Da'at, through Tiferet and Yesod and Malkut.
Yeah, and
So
we were
that's
talking about this earlier, that Da'at is the throat chakra, and that is Uranus in the tree of life. So the significance of the astrology, where the planets are, and the fact that we have that trine between the moon, Uranus, and Pluto, and all of those bodies exist in that center column. They're in a line. And I just found that very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so with Pluto, Uranus, the sun, the moon, and Earth, that is the center pillar in the tree of life and in the human body. So you have an opportunity to tap into that center pillar, the one that you move around with every day. And you have this opportunity during the Lionsgate portal to really solidify what you're bringing into creation. What were you saying, Deanna, about Mercury and Venus?
Well, so Mercury and Venus are conjunct at the same degree in Virgo, and Virgo, of course, is an earth sign, 4 degrees. Yeah. In the tree of life, Mercury is on the right hip and Venus is on the left hip. So they're on the side pillars, right? And to me, that was the gate that was creating this gate for this energy to flow through the center column. And I just thought that was so amazing that Venus and Mercury were significantly, they're conjunct, they're doing something, they're having a major conversation. Now, Mercury is retrograde, but it's just asking us to revisit some information from Virgo it's going to go all the way back into Leo. So for the next couple of weeks, that's what we're doing, is kind of revisiting what is it that we love. How do we love the earth? How do we take care of the earth? So if you can just speak to those outer columns in the tree of life and that significance.
Absolutely. So what's fascinating to me about that specifically is that Mercury and Venus, they're on the hips. That is the channel in the human design, your birthing canal. That's where you birth as an embodied female, divine goddess. That is your birthing channel. So the fact that they are conjunct at that exact moment during the Lionsgate portal tells me again the significance of birthing your creation into the earth during this time. So
and in an earth sign too, and Virgo is a fertility sign, so that's interesting too.
I was looking at, after you said that, I was looking at my birth chart, and I have Saturn at 4 degrees Virgo.
Yeah.
So if you look at your birth chart, see what kind of correspondence you have in either Virgo or at 4 degrees, and in which house. Am I stating this right, Deanna? In which house that they would want to look at?
Yeah, for sure. They want to see what area of their life is being stimulated with that. And then I wanted to point out too that Mercury is going to turn direct at 21 degrees, exactly conjunct your Mercury in Leo. So maybe you need to check in with us and tell us what happened to you in a couple of weeks. Like, what does Mercury retrograde mean for you?
Oh, you're right.
And your moon, conjunct your moon. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no reason to go into fear, though. It's about calling in what you're passionate about, what you feel emotional about, with the moon and Mercury involved and Saturn, it's about being the authority, the leader, doing some discipline to improve, but to move towards that. This is totally for Nicole, to move towards that balancing of mind, which is Mercury, and emotions, which is your moon. You know,
when I'm looking at this, oh my goodness. I'm a little bit tripping out a little bit. Okay.
Well, don't trip out, because you have this huge opportunity to just call in what you want for that. Yeah, it's all about choosing love and not fear.
Is there any reason why I would be afraid or should be afraid?
No, I don't think so at all. It's our programming that tells us we should be afraid when there's some astrological thing. It's actually beneficial to have conjunctions, which all of this is conjunction. It's not a square. So you will get insights. If anything, I feel like you'll probably have to let go of something that's not serving you anymore, but there'll be a lot of support to do that, because it's a conjunction, because it's not a square or an opposition. So
yeah. So well, the reason I'm asking is because and until you said that, I wasn't like really afraid. I was just thinking about the conversation we were having about the pillars. So yes, we have the Mercury and we have Venus, and we also have what's on the pillars is Gebra and Hesed. So Gebra is like action, and then Hesed is the love pillar. Okay, so you have Mars and Jupiter.
yeah, and the interesting thing is too is that Mercury is on the same channel as Saturn in the tree of life. Binah and Mercury are on the same column. So I'm just bringing in more relationship for Nicole's chart. So for her, we're going to suggest she specifically be doing a meditation or movement of energy through her channel on the right, because she's going to be stimulating and clearing energy from Saturn Binah down to Mercury Hod. And you'll probably get creative and do whatever you want there, but yeah, totally amazing, all the synchronicities.
So Saturn with Binah, so Binah is on the right here, and it's a sephro of understanding, and then we have Chokmah, which is a sephro of wisdom. So you're always balancing these. So if you really study the tree of life, there's two sides when you're working with the pillars, when you're working with the gateway, like Deanna was stating, there's two sides, and then when you merge them, you become the center pillar.
I love that.
It is here. You are in the center of these two aspects that are opposite, but also work in conjunction with each other. And that's
Nice.
on shoulders and hips and both sides of your brain. So there's like this duality, and you're joining them in the center pillar. So that's the opportunity that we have during the Lionsgate, is to really merge all of it together.
Would you consider the side pillars to be masculine or feminine? Or do you not see it?
They have aspects of both. They have aspects of both.
Okay.
This the side on the right is the pillar of severity, and then compassion.
Interesting.
And merging them both.
Mm-hmm. The other thing that I just want to speak to is, because you were talking about Mars being on the right pillar above Mercury, and Mars is Gebra, that Mars is conjunct Jupiter on Lionsgate as well in Gemini, and they're having what we call a sextile, which is a beneficial aspect, but it's a little bit of a lazy aspect in the sense that it won't benefit you unless you take action. It's not like just something beautiful happening out of the blue, which is kind of what a trine is. But if you take action because you know there's a beneficial energy, you will gain from that. So I think it's amazing that Mars is conjunct Jupiter on Lionsgate as well. And Mars will continue to move and be stimulating Jupiter all through the whole Lionsgate
through the
time
12th.
frame. Yeah, through the 12th.
So not only do we have Mercury and Hode that's conjunct or trine Venus.
Conjunct.
So it's conjunct. We also have Mars conjunct Jupiter. So
And those are sextile the sun. Yeah, sextile the sun in Leo. And they're also squaring Saturn in Pisces. So there's the tiny bit of possible tension or challenge, but you know, squares can, again, any aspect can be seen as positive or negative. You know, Leo has a positive expression and it has a negative expression. It just depends on where you choose to put your focus. And Saturn, you know, wants us to mature. It wants us to excel in life. And so it's just asking us to really step up. And with a Jupiter Mars square Saturn, it's kind of like Saturn is saying, slow down, think about it, make a plan. How are you going to access? It's in Pisces. So it's like, how are you going to really access this higher realm, the spiritual realm? How are you going to bring it into physical reality? Because Jupiter and Mars are kind of like, oh my God, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And the sky's the limit. We can do it all. It's that ADD we're all experiencing now with the phones and social media and blah, blah, blah. And Saturn's just saying, slow it down a little bit, guys. Learn to ground, practice your practices. This meditation, Nicole has an amazing meditation about the tree of life. And, you know, a lot of us need an active meditation where we're actually doing something with a visualization versus that quiet your mind thing. The quiet your mind thing is great. Lots of people can do it, but not everybody can do it. And rather than giving up on meditation because you can't quiet your mind, all you do is you trick your mind and you do a guided visualization, and your mind is very busy and you're doing something on the inside and you're playing with the energy. And for me, I can palpably feel it in my body when I'm playing with that tree of life in my body and moving the energy through. I don't know if you're interested in sharing your guided visualization with anybody, but if that'll be included in the link down below. So anyway, that's the only challenge with this particular Lionsgate. And again, it just depends on how you think of it. Are you in resistance to change? Are you in resistance to that little bit of discipline that says, yeah, maybe you shouldn't start your day with YouTube. Maybe you should be meditating for, 30 minutes in the morning. Maybe you should be writing your gratitude list. Because those are the ways that we embody the heart space. When we're not distracted and just all over the place doing superficial and entertainment and the grind of life, that life, 3D life can be. We all are really starving for that connection to the divine. How do we embody it into our lives every day? And that's one way that we do.
Yeah. One thing I love about the tree of life specifically is that you start to, because of the different correspondences, and by correspondences, I mean the elements. So each part of the tree of life has a different animal correspondence, a different planet, a different color, a different value, virtue. If it's off balance, it has like inertia or, some quality of life that is going to be obvious. And so it brings a richness to your experience. For example, the Malkut, which represents the earth. The animal symbolism for that is rabbit. So you'll be out walking around and you may see a rabbit, and that's when you know that Sephiro is communicating with you something. So it brings like another level of richness to your waking third dimensional life.
Nice. And then do you proactively, like if you're having difficulty finding love or whatever, would you proactively be working with Venus or Netzach?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, and then again, Venus is on the left hip, so you're interacting with that. If you have a pain in your hip, it could be because of that is
Oh,
off center. There's something there that you can work with, and you can work with the different correspondences, whether it be the color or the animal or the planet, all of it. So it brings like this element of wealth to your life that you
yeah,
don't need the money. It's not money. It's the inner wealth that we all have, that we're all
right.
gifted.
And for example, if you're not an astrology buff, but you love animals, you might really identify with the animals in the Sephiroth versus their planetary significance.
Yeah,
Okay, nice.
absolutely.
Yeah. Would you be willing to just quickly tell us the animals for each Sephiroth? That sounds kind of fun.
Absolutely. I
A
do.
diagram with the
I
animals.
do.
Okay.
I have it for everything. So there's animals, there's the herbs, there's a musical note, there's stones, there's trees, a specific type of tree, different correspondences for your body's organs, different human systems. There's strengths, there's weaknesses, there's colors, symbols, archangels, angels. So there's a lot of different aspects for each Sephro in the tree. And I can share that. I can absolutely share that. Can you see that okay?
Mm-hmm. If you're viewing this by your phone, I apologize. That'll be challenging. Oh, I see. So maybe
So I'll just go through this
is this
quick.
a diagram that you made? It's not something available on the internet.
No, this is what I made.
Okay.
So if you go through, well, I'll just go through the different Sephro. So Keter is at the top of the head. And then this is how creation is made. Okay, so when Keter's at the top, move to Hokmah at the left of your head, then Bina at the right. You pass through Da'at and then move to Hesed, and then Gebra. I'm gonna have to stand up. And then Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and then Malkut is underneath your feet.
So it's sort of a zigzag pattern through your body.
Yes.
And that, I'm kind of curious if that's also part of like a Kundalini spiraling channel thing.
It could
Have
very
you
well
ever?
be. It
Okay.
could very well be. So the tree of life also relates to the tarot. And I know that you've done some work with the tarot. And each one, even though like that's the direction of creation, it's just one way. It's one way. So there's channels inside the tree of life too that you can explore and learn from. So the tree is all about like learning about the human experience and and human existence. So it's something that you can play with and learn from.
I love that. Maybe we can put a link to an image of the tree of life also in the description, just so people can see what that is. And of course, there'll be your information and my information as well. So like and subscribe and do all that good stuff so that this channel can continue. Is there anything else you want to talk about with this amazing opportunity that we're having this week?
I don't know. I guess just a little bit of history of me. I've been working with the sacred geometries since I've always been interested in them. And then when the eclipse happened in 2000 and August 21st, 2017, I was at the time working with a whip, about 5.5 foot whip, and I was up in Mount Shasta, and I started to work with the geometries at the peak of the eclipse. And I didn't know that that was what was going to be happening. But when I cracked my whip, I saw geometries everywhere. It felt like I was like in another realm. And that accelerated my path, my growth. And I started drawing the sacred geometries and learning through them how to do this work. So every eclipse since then, I've been working with my whip, and I have grids that are established in the planet. Shasta is one of them. I plan on going to Cairo in 2027. I went down to Texas in 2024, earlier this year. I did some sacred geometry work with the whip, and it's continuing. So my business is called the Ascension, and I plan on continuing this until we reach a point of mass ascension, so that we can all evolve and take this to the next level.
Yeah, so amazing. I just wanted to say that our next eclipse is a lunar eclipse on September 17th, which is actually very close to the fall equinox, right? And the Lionsgate is the in-between place between the June and the fall, the spring and the fall equinox. June 21st and the September 21st is the midpoint. So, you know, we have an eclipse in the spring and we all are like going, oh my God, what just happened? You know, we're like moving through it, and they do affect us for about 6 months. Then we're going to have this next eclipse in September. So if you can just be in the back of your mind, like aware of how all of these energies are, I feel like they're divinely planned, and they're stacking on top of each other. Like we grow and then there's the next level, and we grow and there's the next level. And there's just been, I mean, I can see it in the astrology, how much support there is. And then now that I'm working with people energetically, it's amazing to me how many people are waking up, and they're waking up so fast, which is a little bit scary, but all it takes is the right support to help you find your footing, right? Find your footing, have a few tools, connect with some peers. Do not be alone. Find the people that you need who speak your language, and you've got this, is all I'm going to say. You've got this. Like, there's a reason why you woke up when you did. It's all perfect, wonderful timing, and Spirit's taking care of you. And it's even taking care of you more if you reach out and ask for assistance from Spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, the universe is always conspiring in your favor. So
yes, we're not victims, really. Yeah, we're letting go of that whole victim consciousness. Yeah, that is just absolutely not
co-creators. We are co-creating with the universe at all times.
Yeah, hallelujah. Thank you, Nicole. It's been such a wonderful pleasure.
Absolutely.
And if you would like to see us speak again, just put that in the comments. Maybe something you want us to talk about, any specific sacred geometries or energy work or advice. We'd love to hear. And Nicole, you didn't actually expand on your use of the whipping. At some point, that might be an amazing topic, because I think there's a lot of women goddesses out there who would like to learn what that means. And like, you guys don't even understand, she's using a whip as a sacred magic tool, like a bull whip, you know how the cowboys are whipping, right? But she's using it to crack the energy with that sound, with that large crack of the sound that the whip makes when it cracks, breaking the barrier, right, of sound. Is
the sound barrier,
what you're doing
with the intention. So there's a specific intention that I'm bringing to the end of the whip when it cracks into existence, and it lights up the geometries. I really accelerated it in 2019 is when I like got massive downloads that it's time now. So it was and then of course 2020 happened.
Yeah. And when did you go to Mount Shasta?
It was in 2019. It was I believe it was the 21st. So it was solstice, December 21st, 2019 is when I was out there. It was actually, that's when I was out there cracking the whip. it was Lionsgate that I buried the crystal in the
Oh,
grid on Mount
interesting.
Shasta.
Yeah, interesting. I
Mhm.
love the correlation there. And did you had a lunar eclipse when you were there in 2019?
Yeah, there was an
Okay.
eclipse there.
Yeah. So this lunar eclipse we're going to have in September in Pisces. We're entering into our new nodal axis, which is the north and the south nodes. They are the ones who are sort of in charge of where the eclipses are, what signs they're in. And we're going to be graduating out of Aries and Libra into next year. We're going to have Virgo and Pisces, which is the service axis, the axis that deals with how we provide service on the planet. Pisces is the spiritual service, and Virgo is our 3D in life service. So, and maybe Earth, service to Earth, right, with Virgo. So, anyway, it's going to be an interesting, beautiful ascension into next year.
I don't know how you feel about this, Deanna, but before we close, I would like to invite maybe a couple of people to have their charts read and see how we work.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
Would that be fair?
How do
to
you want them to
open
do
up-
that?
Maybe we can schedule a discovery call, like put a discovery call link and see if they would be a good appropriate fit. Do like a pre-assessment and then bring them in.
Wonderful, wonderful. If you guys are open to something new, we just got that out of the blue. Spirit brought it into your awareness. So wonderful. If that sounds like something you might like to experiment with, how Nicole and I might work with your particular personal blueprint. And she has so much knowledge to guide you and coach you, and then I guide and coach in a different way. But I think synergistically, we've been working together for quite a while, and so it'd just be so much fun to morph something amazing for people, right?
I agree. Let's see what we
Okay.
can co-create together.
And I think that's kind of where we're going as a planet, as humanity. It's like, how can we invent the new that's never been here before?
Yeah. And I want to see who's out there who wants to come play.
Yeah. All right. That Leo energy, come play. Cool. All right. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. And we love you, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye.